Continuing the chapter function overloading and member functions. In the last class we have studied definition of function overloading and need for function overloading, concept of polymorphism and some restrictions on overloaded functions. And we have studied how to define and declare of overloaded functions. And one more topic we have discussed, that is about application of function overloading through simple examples. Dear students, let's recall what is function overloading. Function overloading means two or more functions have same name but differ in the number of arguments or data types of arguments. This is also known as what? Function polymorphism. Consider an example 1. In declaration of overloaded functions, the function product that takes two integer arguments p and q is different from the function product that takes three float arguments x, y, z. This is what? Function overloading. To overload a function, each overloaded function must be declared and defined separately. Okay. So for example 2, consider this example in the declaration and definition of overloaded functions. This is a declaration and this one is the definition of overloaded functions. Here function name is same, okay, but different in the number of arguments or data types of arguments. In this example, the function product, okay, is overloaded two times, right? First time with two integer values p and q. Okay, first time with two integer values p and q and integer as return value. Okay, second time, see here, second time with the three float values and return type being a float. What will happen here? The compiler automatically chooses the right type of function, okay, depending on the number of arguments. We'll move on to today's topic. What are the other functions in a class? First function, that is inline function. Okay, the member functions of a class may be defined inside or outside a class. One such function defined inside a class is what? Inline function. Let us see first function, inline function. See, important concept for 5 marks in the exam point of view. The inline function is a short function. Okay, inline function is a short function and it is a function that is expanded in line when it is called or invoked. Okay, so therefore inline function is a special type of function whose body is inserted at the place where it is called instead of transferring the control to the function. I repeat, an inline function is a special type of function whose body is inserted at the place where it is called instead of transferring the control to the function. And compiler replaces a function call with the body of the function. Okay, the keyword inline is used to define a inline function. Keyword is inline. The inline function consists of function call along with function code and the process is known as what? Expansion. What is expansion? The inline function consists of function call along with function code and the process is known as expansion. See here the coding of normal and inline functions are similar. Okay, coding of normal and inline functions are similar except that inline function definition start with the keyword inline. This is a difference between normal and inline function. Coding is similar. Okay, but in inline function definition start with the keyword inline. See the syntax. Inline return type specify a function name with the argument list with the declaration, and it contains function body. Here inline is a keyword, and function definition must start with this keyword or a prefix, that is inline. Next, return type specifier, it is a data type of a resultant value of that function. Okay, whether a resulting value is an integer or float, double, char, any other type, that is return type specifier. And function name, it is helpful for identifying the function. Okay, is it clear? A function may take one or more arguments, and their values are used during calculation or declaration. During calculation or processing. And the body of this function body contains set of executable statements depending on type of problem to be solved. Okay, then inside this body of the function, it contains return statement. It returns a resultant value to a calling function. It contains a resultant value to a calling function, return some expression. Okay, return some expression. Consider this example. In this example, inline, that is keyword, double return type specifier, cube, that is function name with the one argument a. Okay, which type of argument? Double type of argument. And return statement a into a into a. It returns cube of a variable or cube of number. Okay, some of the rules listed below. See, inline function definition starts with the keyword inline, and the inline function should be defined before all functions call it. Okay, and the compiler replaces the function call statement with the function code itself, that is expansion, and then compiles the entire code. And inline functions are executed or run little faster than normal functions because inline functions are small functions. Okay, let us discuss inline functions with the programming example. Finding the square of a number using inline functions. Finding the square of a number using inline functions. After header file section, this is inline function definition. Okay, inline int square followed by an argument a. Here I used a special keyword called inline, and square, that is function name, followed by an integer argument. I am going to pass one argument, that is a, integer type of argument. Next, inside this inside the flower brackets, it contains body of the function, return and some expression. It returns what? Square of a number, a into a. It returns square of any two integer values. Okay, so here end of inline function. See here, inline function definition placed before all the function, before the main function, before all the function. So here inline function int square int a, square function name, inline keyword with the function body. The body of the inline function is going to be substituted when the function is called in the main program. This one, body of the inline function is going to be substituted when the function is called in the main program or in other functions, right? For example, in a main function, you are calling this particular function many times. See here, square, square. Okay, you are calling this particular function many times, and in case if it is not inline function, you are wasting much of time by transferring the flow of control from here to there and there to here. That's why we make this particular function as a inline function, because we are calling this function many number of times in the main program. So x equal to square, y equal to square. Okay, so inside main function here I am going to declare two integer variables, x and y, that will receive the square of any given argument value. X will receive one return value and y also. These two are the ordinary variables, x and y. To variable x, how I am getting the value? See in statement this x equal to square of 5. Okay, with argument 5. I am calling square function with the one argument, that is 5. What is the value of argument here? Integer value 5. If it is a normal function, you are supposed to transfer the flow of control. Okay. If it is an inline function, what happens here? The particular body of the function will be substituted here. Okay. Then you will get the output. Square of 5 is equal to x means in the place of x you will receive output. Next I am calling same function here, y is equal to square of 10 here, but variable is y. But argument value is different. I am going to pass argument value that is 10. Okay, argument value that is 10. Now I am assigning one more value to variable y. 10 is sent to that particular function as an argument, and you will get the output 10 into 10, that is equal to 100. In the place of y, you will receive value 100. Let us see the output. First, let me call this particular function x is equal to square of 5, and that value has to be copied to the variable x. Okay. When I am calling this function in inline function, the body of the function will substitute it here. So 5 is sent. So that will return a value 5 into 5 is equal to 25. In the place of variable x, we'll get the value that is equal to 25. Square of 5 is equal to 25. Similarly for y, okay, square of 10 is equal to 100. Okay. Same function here, y is equal to square of 10. Let me call the same function here. Again I am substituting same body of inline function in the place of a function call. I am passing an argument value 10 that return a value a into a is equal to 100. So y is equal to how much? 100. So this is how inline function works. Similarly, next program to find the cube of a number using inline function. Okay, cube of a number. Same procedure here also. This is inline function definition. Inline is a keyword and cube is a function name with the one argument a. Return a into a into a. It returns what? A cube of a number. Okay. Here inside the main function I am declaring one integer variable, ordinary variable n. Then enter the input number, that is n variable I am declared here. Then see out cube of n is equal to cube of any number. Okay, then get ch of okay, here also I am passing an integer argument as a. It returns a cube of any number using this statement int n is an integer number here. From this function cube of okay, cube of n, you will get the cube of n number. Okay, enter the input number 4, cube of 4. What happened here? See here, cube of 4 means 4 into 4 into 4, that is cube of 4 is equal to 64. You will get the output as a 64. Next, advantages of inline functions. Inline functions are very short. Okay, see here, the inline member functions are compact function calls. Inline functions are very short and compact function calls. They are very simple, but should be very careful. We cannot apply inline function every time. If the function coding is very small, then we can only apply inline function. There is no burden on the system for function calling. Okay, therefore the size of the object code is considerably reduced and the speed of execution of program increases. It is useful when calling function is small and containing straight line code with only a few statements, and therefore the speed of execution of a program increases. Okay, very efficient code can be generated. Next, the readability of the program increases to reduce overhead and to increase the program speed. And C++ allows an alternative to normal function calls in the form of inline function. Okay, it also saves overhead of return call from a function. The readability of the program increases because we are dividing the problem into smaller units called functions. Okay, these are some of the advantages of an inline function. Let us see what are the disadvantages of inline functions. Okay, see here. As the body of inline function is substituted, okay, as the body of inline function is substituted in place of function call, then may increase the size of the executable file and more memory is needed. If used in header file, it will make your header file size large and may also make it unreadable. These are what disadvantages. As the body of inline function is substituted in a place of function call, then may increase the size of the executable file. More memory is needed. If used in header file, it will make your header file size large and may also make it unreadable. The inline function may not work sometimes for one of the following reasons. See one by one. If the inline function definition is too long or too complicated, because inline functions are very short and compact function calls. If the inline function is recursive, recursive means what? Function calling itself. If the inline function has looping constructs, while, do, while, for loop, any other looping constructs, then that time inline function may not work. If the inline function has a switch or go to statement, okay, these are some of the reasons. Next, one more function in a class, that is friend functions. Okay, let us see another function in a class, that is friend function. Dear students, we have seen that private and protected members of a class cannot be accessed from outside the class in which they are declared, right? In other words, we can say what? Non-member function does not have access to the private data members of a class. Okay, this one we have studied in previous classes. Okay, but there could be a situation where two classes must share a common function. Okay, where two classes must share a common function. So C++ allows the common function to be shared between the two classes by making the common function as a friend function to both classes. Friend to both classes. Therefore, or thereby allowing the function to have access to the private data of both of these classes. That is about what a friend function. See, a friend function is a non-member function which can access both the private and protected members of a class. This topic is also important for 5 marks. I repeat, a friend function is a non-member function which can access both the private and protected members of a class. Okay? And a friend function is declared within a class with the keyword prefix friend. Okay? But it should be defined outside the class like a normal function without the prefix friend. Okay? Is it clear now? But it should be defined outside the class like a normal function without the prefix friend. When it is defined outside the class, the keyword friend is not used, right? See the syntax, class name, opening flower bracket, inside this body of the function, public access specifier, inside this class access specifier friend, under this public access specifier friend, that is prefix friend, return type specifier with function name followed by class name, object name and semicolon. Okay, this is a syntax. To understand this concept clearly, I will give some example for friend function. Okay, see, you are a function and you have some private items on you. Okay, if you have a friend means that is considered as friend function. Your friend will have access to those items. Okay, your friend will have access to those items. Consider another example. There is a government public library. There is a government public library. Who can access government public library? Anybody can access government public library. There is no restriction on that, right? But there will be a library under particular college. So here there are some restrictions. Only students under that particular college or enrolled under that particular college can use that college library by having college ID. Right? Now, if it is private, okay, now if it is private, this college library will be private, whereas public library will be public. Anybody can use it. Similarly, inside class, we will have three access specifiers: public, private and protected. Any members defined under public section can be accessed by anyway. But whereas private and protected is concerned, you have a restriction. Okay? Cannot access it anyway. There is a restriction. Members declared under private, see students, members declared under private, also here, listen carefully, are accessible only within the class. Members declared under private are accessible only within the class. The members which are declared using protected can be accessed only by the member functions or friends of the class and also by the member functions derived from this particular class only. Okay. So if any function is made as friend function, then that function can access to both private and protected access members. Okay, then what do you mean by friend function? A friend function is a non-member function of a class has the access permission to the private member of the class. Okay, private and protected members of the class. Okay. Consider this program segment. Here class name is base x and y are two integer data members. Okay, here class name is base x and y are two integer data members declared private by default. As all you know that if no access specifier is mentioned, then by default members are what? Private. Then by default members are private. Under public section, inside get function, inside this function I am going to enter values of two variables, that is x and y. Okay, next see here, friend function declaration. This statement what a friend function declaration. Okay, here friend of a class base, friend that is prefix, float or return type specifier, sum that is function name with the class name base and argument or object b. Okay, what is the syntax of friend function? That is friend prefix, return type specifier, function name with the class name followed by class name argument, sorry, class name object. Okay, class name I'll take it as a base. Okay, and object b, because in the body of the friend function, okay, in the body of the friend function here I am supposed to access x and y. This is a body of the friend function. I am supposed to access x and y. As I said, these are not accessed directly, x and y. You are supposed to use an object. Okay, so here I need to create an object as an argument with the class base. Here sum is declared as a friend function that computes sum of two numbers x and y. Okay, sum of two numbers input using get function, this one. Okay, this is the declaration of a friend function, that is sum. Definition in the friend function, same. Definition in the friend function. Here, definition of the friend function. It does not use either keyword friend. Here, it does not use either keyword friend or scope resolution operator. It is defined like a normal function. How you define it? Return type specifier, function name with a class name and object. Okay, float return type specifier followed by the function name sum with the class name base b, object name. Inside this friend function, this is a function, a friend function definition. Inside this friend function, you are supposed to send an argument. It should be an object. Okay, it should be an object that is a b. That has to be declared here, base b. Okay, base b. Through this object b, I am supposed to access x and y. Okay, So what you are going to return here? Return b dot x plus b dot y. From this friend function sum, you will access x and y. So data members are not accessed directly, right? We seen in the characteristics as well. The objects of the class can access the private members only through the public member functions of the class. Okay. So this property is also called as what? Information hiding. So by default class members in a class, that is x and y, are what? Private, right? So I can write return statement with the sum expression, that is b dot x plus b dot y. In case x value is 5 and y value is 10, then x plus y is equal to 5 plus 10 means 15 will be stored, right? That value be returned to the calling function. Okay, two values are added and returned. So this is how we define the friend function. This is a friend function declaration. This is a definition. Okay, this is a friend function definition. It does not use either keyword friend or any scope resolution operator. It is defined like a normal function. Is it clear? So in the above example, sum is declared as a friend function that computes a sum of two numbers input using get function. Okay, through an object b. Next we'll see characteristics of friend function. Characteristics of friend function. A friend function is a non-member function which can access both the private and protected members of a class. Okay, friend function is nothing but it is a non-member function which can access both the private and protected members of a class. The friend declaration can be placed anywhere in the class declaration. It is not affected by the access specifier public, private and protected. And third characteristic is the function is declared with the keyword friend. Okay, declared with the keyword friend. Okay, but while defining friend function, it does not use either keyword friend or a scope resolution operator. Okay, function is declared with the keyword friend, but while defining friend function, it does not use either keyword friend or a scope resolution operator. It can be called like a normal function without the help of any object. It cannot access the data member variables directly and has to use an object name dot member name, right? Here dot operator, that is a membership operator. For example, a dot x. A is here object name dot membership operator and member name is x. Okay, that is data member. Okay, these are some of the characteristics of friend function. This chapter ends here. Thank you.